Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You are looking at UD.Productions. Go Love Team. Please like, subscribe, and share. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, y'all. Yes, indeed. You're looking at UD.Productions. You know what I'm saying? Go Love Team. And today, we're going to talk about the smash and grab thing. We definitely going to talk about that. Okay. It's a lot of people that's participating in that. Okay. Well, let's talk about that. So, for all y'all guys, handicapped, disadvantaged, disabled people, mentally challenged people that go to these stores that y'all guys are smashing and grabbing in, they're the ones that's affected, because after a while the insurance company is going to get tired of paying these companies to give them back the money that from the things that was stolen. They're going to get tired of that. And they're going to say, you know what, we got to go up on y'all guys' insurance. Y'all make enough money to pay us back. A lot more money for us to keep covering this store. And then what happens? These retail giants, they close the stores in y'all guys' communities. Because this is what you guys are doing. And what you don't realize is you're hurting yourself. Now that same store that you went to smash and grab in, you going there for a job interview. Because that's when you feel that you woke up and you want to change your life. So you want to go there for a job interview now. But last month, you just smashed and grabbed in that store. Nowadays, people are raised by wolves. They're not raised by human beings. Just by what they do. But I'm going to tell you one thing. In the long run, you got to face somebody. You got to face that man up above. Whatever you do on this earth is what you're going to be affected with when you go. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I try to do as much as good as I can from my heart. It's better to give than receive. I'm going to tell you one thing. You can't put them in it. You can't put them in it. You can't put it in them. But you definitely can't take it out of them. If somebody comes from that background, that's something that they were just born with, man. It's nothing you can do with that. It's a lost cause. And I look at it like that. You can be fixed if you want to. So let me tell y'all guys something, man. I just seen a video not too long ago where they was doing a smash and grab, and the sad part about it was these people had no shame in their game. They didn't have no mask on. They didn't have nothing. They were just going over this. It looked like it was a Target or something like that. You know, they didn't have no shame in their game. They were going in there, stealing sneakers. One was a sneaker store, and then the other one was Target. Okay, and they was going in there and they was doing. They didn't have no shame in their game, man. It was adults, to teenagers, even down to the little kids. And that's what makes it shameful. And you know what? I never see any other culture doing this. I always see a black culture doing this. I always see my own people smashing and grabbing. Maybe there is other cultures out there doing it, but I just ain't never seen it. And you can look on YouTube, and I just never see it. I always see us being caught up in that. In the long run, is that this is why we're looked at the way we are looked at as a people. Africans don't even like us American black people. And don't get me wrong, man. I love my people to death. We have a lot of soul and a lot of things, man. But it's just, you know, it's when you see them smashing and grabbing, it brings you back to the slavery times when we wanted to get free. We would just take anything that we needed to survive while we was running from the master house. And I'm not saying this to get on nobody. I'm just telling you what it reminds me of. Cause I love all my peoples, all my white brothers, my white sisters, my black brothers, my black sisters, my black Asians, my white Asians. Like, there's black and white in every culture in the world. You just don't never see it. But trust me, there's blacks and whites in every culture. Okay? Trust me what I tell you, in every culture. But our black Americans, the things that we doing, the things that we do to each other, man, we are the most endangered species on this earth. When it comes down to mankind, humankind. It's the things that we do. We don't show the people that they can trust us as a culture. We don't show them that. We don't show other cultures that they can trust us. It's a minority of us that we can trust. And it's a majority of us that we can't trust. And that's the sad part, man. What we need to do is we need to step up our game and teach our children a lot better than what we teaching them. You know, and this right here is something that has something to do with our culture emotionally. Like when the sisters get mad, they want to dangle the kids over your head. I dealt with that. You know, it's a lot of, and don't get me wrong, it ain't a lot of sisters that's like that. It's definitely not a lot of sisters like that. Because there are a lot of intelligent black sisters out there. So don't get me wrong. Don't twist what I'm saying. But it's a lot of sisters that do that. You got some sisters that they just hung up on their body shape. And they think, oh, okay, I got a big booty. You know, my name is Tootie. And he ain't going nowhere. And when he do go somewhere, what happens? That situation. And what comes out of that? Ignorant kids, because they wasn't taught well. It wasn't taught well at all. And nowadays, you got some of the kids that's making more money from the entertainment industry over their parents. So that's enabling them to disrespect their parents. That's why a lot of them don't live long. I come up from that old school, and from what I understand, this is quoted in the Bible. If you respect your parents, you will have longevity in life. Okay? None of these kids is doing that. That's why a lot of these parents are burying their kids. The kids are not burying their parents. And that's the problem right here, right now. Just like this stuff that they talking about with the schools, killing in the school. You know how long ago this has been going on? It just so happened that social media is bigger now than it was back in those days when I was coming up. Before there was MySpace in America Online, there was just, you didn't go around that block if you know you had beef. Before there was gangs in New York City, there was posses. I could name some of them. You had the Bushwick posse, you had the Transformers, you had the Decepticons, you had the Decepticettes, you had the Bushwick posse, you had the Wolf Pack, you had the Lowlives, you had the Moffitt posse, you had the 45 posse. It's so much posses. You had the 98 posse. It's so much posses. The Flatbush posse, East 21st Street posse. It was so many posses out there, man. This is not nothing new. I can name schools, the smart schools that had all of the posses. That's where the bad posses came from. You had Brooklyn Tech, you had Westinghouse, Erasmus. Wingate. Wingate was one of the worst. I can name, and I'm naming all of the schools in New York City where all of these posses came from, or where they dwelled at. And then later on down the line, the offspring of those people that was from those posses, you know, I'm not gonna say that their parents still lived on in those ways, but I'm quite sure they had kids at an early age, and some of the kids was born into that culture. So that's why we got smashing and grabbing. And then in LA, you got the Bloods and the Crips, and a lot of those kids were born into that culture. I know that for a fact. Because when you hear about anyone in LA, or you know, everybody is talking about sets and everything, you know. I was in the gang myself. I ain't gonna say which one I was in, but I definitely was in one. Okay? But I was smart enough. What my parents didn't know what I was out there doing. I was out there getting crazy, doing stupid things, you know, training my pit bulls. You know, that's why I got Underdog right here. You know what I'm saying? All right. I was in the pit bulls. I ain't gonna go no further. But you guys already know what I'm talking about. But luckily, before I had kids, I realized I was a good boy in front of my parents, but I was out there doing some crazy stuff. Beating people up for no reason and all of that. The East Flatbush posse. You know, my cousins and them. It was like a whole bunch of us out there beating people up for no reason. I remember one time they ran the dude down out of his shoes for a loaf of bread. I mean, I didn't put hands on the kid, but I seen what they was doing. You know what I mean? And it was one victim after another. That's why I said all this stuff that's going on now is stuff that's been going on since my generation of when I was a kid. It's just a repeat of it. That's all it is, man. Everything has a 360-degree turn all the time. It gotta stop somewhere. But getting back on the subject with the smashing and grabbing. This is a situation where the parents that's participating in these smashing and grabbing have to stop doing smashing and grabbing. Okay? Because them same sneakers that you guys is stealing out them stores and all that merchandise that you stealing is the same thing that's going to stop you from having a job. Because after a while, the store is going to move out of that location. They can't have it in that location no more. You want me to tell you why? Because the people in the neighborhood are stealing from the store. The very store that could help them feed their family, help pay their rent. They going down there and ripping the store off. And people think it's cool. It ain't cool. I seen one girl on the video who had a pair of Nike Air sneakers the man had on video. She ain't bothered to cover her face up. She had her car parked in the middle of the street to go in there and get some sneakers. Didn't even know if the sneakers was her size. She just, you know what? She may have been a professional. She probably didn't know where to go at and what's her size and all that. A lot of people probably professional about it now. They probably professional about it. Went in there and left her car parked in the middle of the street and went back there and got another pair of sneakers. And then the man caught her again and was asking her what kind of other sneakers. It's funny, but it's not funny. Because this shows where our community is going to. It's definitely going to hell. Definitely. We know better. So we definitely, and I mean definitely, have to do better. And that's the only way that we gonna get through this. Because at the end of the day, none of this stuff means anything. Not none of it. When you really think about it. Because when you die, you will never, ever, 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 ever see a U-Haul truck behind a hearse. Everything that you have, for the houses that you buy, that's already built, somebody else already had that house. But guess what? They wasn't around to enjoy it. For that nice car that you buy on the used car lot, somebody else had that car that they're probably not around to enjoy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You are looking at UD Productions. Go Love Team. Please like, subscribe, and share.